Shane Steichen embarking on his third minicamp. We're going to see what this minicamp's like. It's good. You're going to hear him talk about training camp and ways that training camp is going to change for the Indianapolis Colts. And maybe that's going to be kind of the thing that spurs this team toward, not knowing to start, not a 1-1 start, but maybe winning a season opener for the first time since 2013. You got players on this team that were in middle school the last time that the Colts won an opener, not just a home opener, an opener of any kind. So Shane Steichen trying to build this team toward answering that challenge.
All right, I'll start.
Back.
Looking forward to finishing the week strong with a great minicamp. Our guys have had a hell of an offseason. Love the mindset of the football team right now, so want to finish it strong. Really proud of the guys with the way they've been working, so it's been good.
Shane, anybody not show up?
No, everyone's here.
Changes, any changes they are, nothing.
Nothing. It's status. No timetable on the return. But again, we're just going to do his rehab, and once the doctors clear him to throw, and we'll ease him back into it.
There was a report that he's going out to do like a second opinion or...
Yeah, he went out to LA to get a second opinion. Yep.
Is that kind of standard? Or
yeah, I think a lot of guys get a lot of opinions for sure. Oh. Absolutely.
What did that indicate?
Like I said, it's the same thing. We're just rehabbing them. No timetable on the return, but once the doctors clear him to throw, he'll be thrown.
Did he go out to see the doctor from the surgery?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, as far as your, I guess what things do you want to see position battle wise? I guess this is like a precursor for that. Like, how do you see A.D. Mitchell kind of come along throughout this, and obviously opportunity he might have?
Yeah, I think he's done a really nice job in OTAs. He's stepped up. He's made a ton of plays for us. So to really make that second year jump is going to be big for him. But I really like the mindset of where he's at, the maturity level that he's brought, the competitiveness that he's brought this offseason be good. So just carry that into training camp and into the season.
Shane, just to be crystal clear, he already saw Dr. Richardson, and the situation remains the same.
Yeah.
That was consistent. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Shane, how big of an advantage do you feel like this is for Daniel to get all these starting reps?
Yeah, he's going to have a lot of reps going forward, obviously this week, and then we'll see how training camp plays out.
What have you seen from Juju?
He's been good. Sticky in coverage, obviously been battling injuries, through his career. So hopefully, this is a clear slate for him going into this season, into this training camp. And staying healthy is going to be the biggest thing for him.
Was he dealing with anything spring? I don't think we saw him last week.
Yeah, he had a growing. Yeah.
Is he good for this week?
Yeah, he'll be out.
Like at this point in the offseason, how do you deal with like bruises, nicks, things like that, and trying to still make sure that guys get the proper reps to kind of get ready for it?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think you got to manage it during this time because it is a long season. But as long as the guys, if they're not practicing out there, if they can get the walkthrough reps and the mental reps, that part's huge as well. But obviously, we don't want to make things worse at this time of year for sure.
You anticipate Travis Moore being able to do
Yeah, he's gonna get some reps today. Yep, he should get some limited reps out there.
You've had a few guys who have had extended issues with injuries, like Jelani and Juju, Daniel. Do you have to work them in at all, or do they just it's full go like the definition?
Yeah, I think obviously once you work through those things in the rehab process and getting ready, and when the doctor's clearing for full go, they're going. But obviously, be smart too at the same time. Work them back into those situations. And if they feel good, they're full go.
Shane, ideally, when would you name a starting quarterback?
I don't know that yet right now. I don't have a timetable on that. But once I know, I'll let you guys know.
With Tyler, at this point of the year where he's training for the draft and then he's kind of getting up to speed here, like what do you want to see out of him during this mini camp?
I think kind of what he's been doing. I think the great thing about him, very smart football player. He picks up things very quickly. You tell him once, he's got a good feel for it, and even if he's got to correct something, he's got a great job mindset of getting it corrected on the next time he goes out there. So he's been phenomenal so far. Obviously, I know we don't have pads on, but his movement skills, great feel, great instincts. It'll be good this week to get another week of that work in, and then going into training camp will be great for him.
How impressive are Justin Wally's instincts?
Very. So far, it's been great. It's really sticky in coverage. Been making a ton of plays through OTAs. So, very pleased with where he's at.
Is it almost more impressive when it comes from a rookie since they're behind? In theory, they're behind everybody in terms of the install.
Yeah, I think so. I think feeling instincts. at that position, but also when you're playing man-to-man coverage, you go out and cover. And he's got great cover skills, so it's been really good to see.
Obviously can't hit people at this point, but how do you evaluate a guy like Mac Gonzalez and his starting reps at right now?
Yeah, I think he's learned inside there, but I think he's done a really nice job. But again, like you said, when the pads come on, that'll be very valuable for him going into training camp. But he's settled in pretty nicely into that guard spot, so we're going to keep working there.
I can't remember if we asked you earlier in the offseason about Braden. Not that he's back, but more so what he went through and overcame, and the fact that he was telling me that he wants to use his experience to help others. Have you had any conversations about that or observed anything about that?
Yeah, I think, he's in a really good headspace. Obviously, you guys know the story. He shared it with you guys last year, had some really good conversations with him. But again, going through those trials and tribulations, you grow from those moments and those situations. So, credit to him where he's at mentally. He's done a nice job all spring. He's been phenomenal in the weight room, in the classroom, and obviously in practice. So he's in a really good headspace right now.
Shane, I know every team does a mini camp, but how important is this time so that training camp gets off to a good start? How do you use this time to your ultra benefit?
Yeah, I think obviously you got more meetings, you got to walk through in the morning, and then you practice in the afternoon. So it is kind of like a mini training camp. But the fundamentals, the details that go into it, we don't want to waste days. And that's the biggest thing. We want to be on it, at all times with these guys. So these guys are, like I said, they're in the right headspace, right mindset. They've had a hell of an off season, and we got to finish it strong this week.
Shane, will you treat training camp any differently than you have the first 2 years?
We will. The practices will be a little different. You'll see some different things in practice. Obviously, we got the joint practice week 1. Never done a week 1 joint practice before a preseason game, so we got that against Baltimore. And then obviously the week 2 against Green Bay, they're coming to our place. And sometimes we do 2 joint practices with teams. We're just doing a single joint practice with Baltimore, a single joint practice with Green Bay, and then that 3rd preseason game. Sometimes the last 2 years we've had those joint practices. We're not going to do a joint there. But it'll be good. There'll be different situations that you guys will see when you're out there. But it'll be exciting.
Wait, different how?
What's that?
Different how?
As far as what? The practice.
You said different in practice. You said practice will be different. Might be different.
Yeah, last year we did a walkthrough day 2, right? There's a ramp up period. We're going to practice day 2.
Yeah.
There'll be different situations, sudden changes in practice. We'll have live periods with the 3s. So we're going to do some different things.
And the thought process behind that is?
I just think, obviously you go through little details on what you need to get better. I think like last year, sudden change situations for us, playing complementary football, we got to put those guys in those situations. So those are the things I studied and looked at, that we need to get better at this year.
Is any of it
Couple more.
due to the slow starts to seasons? I know that happened before your arrival.
Yeah, I think a little bit is, obviously games are won and lost a lot of times in these fourth quarters. They come down to 1-score games. So I think we got to be in great conditioning going into the fourth quarter, especially early in the season.
When it comes to mental reps, obviously Anthony's going to take a lot of those over the next few weeks. How do you evaluate what's a good mental rep, or did this register with not just him, like any player?
Yeah, well, I think what he's doing a really good job of right now is he's standing right behind the quarterback and he's taking the true mental reps. Some guys will stand back there and just look at it. He's actually going through his reads and his eyes progression, so he's getting those mental reps that way, which has been really good to see.
Good to hear from Shane Steichen. I like the insight about Tyler Warren. I like the insight about Lou Anarumo's defense and how this defensive line looks. The receivers, Matt Gonzalez, Daniel Jones, all of that good stuff from Shane Steichen. We'll see if this year's a little bit different. He seems genuinely optimistic.